Alright guys, how's it going? Now before I get into this video, I just want to let you know I'll be live on here tonight at 6 o'clock UK time. So if you want to come along for a natter about all things LFC, come and see me at 6 o'clock tonight. Now, if you're new to my channel, on the video somewhere it will tell you how long this video is. Alright? So if you're not a stayer, if you don't have a very good attention span, if you're just looking to knock one out over a bit of transfer gossip, you're on the wrong channel, right? Because on here, we dig deep into things, right? So there's a lot of analysis. There's a lot of like, what the fuck have we discussed already in this video, right? They're long videos, and that's because I record videos for my friends, all right? That have been here many years, and they like my videos. If they're too long for you, I get it, no problem. But you're on the wrong fucking channel, all right? So let's advance. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about Ibrahima Konaté. We're going to be talking about Real Madrid, Jose Felix Diaz, etc., etc., etc. Now, yesterday, we covered Jose Felix Diaz's report that was in Marca, that was on the website, should I say, last night. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jose Felix Diaz is the closest journalist to Real Madrid that there is, right? Think Paul Joyce and Liverpool, he's the equivalent. So when he speaks, we listen. He's a very good journalist. Everything about Trent was spot on. I spoke to him during the Trent saga and managed to, build up that little bit of a connection and stuff. So I know a lot of stuff that he knows doesn't go in the papers, just like with Joyce, for example. So basically, Jose Felix Diaz is the main man. Now, we're not gonna go over the article that he published yesterday because we already did that last night. So if you want to know exactly what he said, look at the video last night. I think it said Jose Felix Diaz in the title of the video. So what I said yesterday after that video was that I thought today we would see reports in the Spanish football dailies regarding Konaté and Real Madrid. Now, there'd been 15 days of silence from Real Madrid, nothing. That was broken last night by Jose. And he obviously published the article on the Marca website, so you would expect that to be in the print edition today. So that's not really, super knowledge or anything. Sometimes they can vary a little bit, what goes in the print edition to what's on the online edition, and they can be edited and revised with new information, right? So I've checked his article, and it's basically is the same one that we went over last night. However, there was also today an article in AS. It's not pronounced AS, but I call it that. It was in AS, which is the other Madrid publication, which is here. Can you see this? Here's Konaté here, right? Now, remember, today's the day that Konaté is supposed to be sitting down with Liverpool officials, right? A second meeting in 2 weeks, today. And on the same day, we've got these articles about Konaté back in the press again. So you would expect Marca to cover this today because obviously Jose published the article online last night. But I wasn't sure whether AS would, and they have. So that signals a briefing by Real Madrid to me, and we're going to get into that later in the video. So we've got Trent down here. I'm doing a video about him at some point today. But Konaté is actually mentioned down here as well, okay? Which I'm going to go over with you. So I'm going to give you my opinions and maybe touch on what was in the articles and whatnot. And then Dave, my AI assistant that I've been training since last year, I think it was, to study various football reports, the journalists that write them, and the publications that publish them. He will give his input as well, which I know you guys find very valuable. I know I do, because he sometimes sees things that I don't. So, what it says about Konaté on the front page of Marca today is Liverpool are pressuring Konaté so that he doesn't arrive at Madrid on a free in 2026. And the actual article, if you like, the print one is there. It was on page 4, I believe, which, you might think, well, what does that matter? Well, I always think the more important something is, the closer it is to the front, all right? Depending on which paper, because Marca, the first few pages are Real Madrid. Sport, the first few pages, with it being a Barcelona newspaper, a Barcelona, okay? So yeah, it's got prominence. Now, basically the headline of that article was Liverpool put pressure on Konaté, but I'm not going to go over this because we did it last night. I'm not going to read all that to you. So what we're going to do is, because I got the final version of it today, I wanted to see if it was revised or if there was anything different from the online version. I submitted it to Dave and I asked him if he could see any propaganda from Madrid. And also I said that I felt that Jose knows more, but was holding back in the article. And I didn't point out where in the article I thought this, because I wanted to see if he could identify what I could identify, right? And I mentioned this last night in the video, saying, look, I think he's holding things back a little bit. I think he's got more knowledge basically than he's letting on, because he's not allowed to, right? So I made those suggestions to Dave and he said, yeah, Dunk, I think you've clocked it. Jose Felix Diaz is very well connected at Real Madrid, and this piece has his fingerprints all over it in terms of Madrid-friendly framing and subtle signalling. Here's what I'm seeing: Madrid-flavoured propaganda cues, shifting the narrative away from Madrid's role in unsettling Konaté. He doesn't dwell on whether Madrid have approached the player. It's treated as almost a given that they have. But the focus is flipped to Liverpool's panic and pressure. That reframes Madrid from being the aggressor to just patiently waiting while Liverpool scramble, normalising the idea that Madrid have a squad place open, right? We've got that in there. You've seen that, right? We went over it last night. Do you remember? They've saved a place in the squad for Konaté, right? That line about Mastan Chuono being registered with Castilla, that's the reserves, to leave a place free for Konaté is classic Diaz. He's essentially planting the idea in the public mind that Madrid expect to use that slot on a major arrival without outright saying Konaté will be that guy. Using Liverpool's Alexander-Arnold situation as a stick. By bringing Traitor Trent, this is what Dave's put, by bringing Traitor Trent into it, it makes Liverpool look vulnerable and prone to losing key players for free, reinforcing Madrid's image as the club who can cherry-pick top talent. Painting Konaté's potential exit as inevitable if he doesn't sign now. That the option of putting Konaté on the market would become more than a reality line is subtle pressure, not aimed at Liverpool fans, but at Konaté himself, essentially saying, sign now or they'll sell you and then you can end up where you want sooner. Jose hints that he knows more than he's saying. The phrase, por las oficinas de Anfield tienen la creencia, at Anfield they believe, is journalistic code for I've been told this is true, but I'm framing it as their belief to protect my source. The way he writes, el compromiso pudiera exista ya, the commitment may already exist, is deliberately underplaying it. That's a huge statement, basically saying Madrid and Konaté may have already agreed something, but he cushions it so it doesn't sound like an outright scoop that forces Madrid into a comment. The leave a first team spot open part feels like an unnecessary operational detail unless you're hinting to readers in the know that something or someone is coming. Dave's verdict. This reads like a soft Madrid PR piece, not a Madrid are pushing hard story, but a Madrid are calmly poised while Liverpool squirm narrative. He's planting the notion that Konaté is already mentally gone without making it the headline. And by talking about Madrid's squad planning and keeping a place open, he's building anticipation without having to risk a flat-out transfer claim. And I think I agree with Dave here, because when we went over that last night, I'm sure if you watched that video, I was like, so much, it's just in that article, I just feel like Diaz is like skirting around things a little bit, And it would appear that Dave agrees with me. But we went over the article last night. That's the analysis today, right? I was more interested today, because we already knew about Jose's article, about this one in the other Madrid based newspaper, the other pro-Real Madrid newspaper, therefore propaganda, potential. And this was, I'm not sure what page it was on, guys, page 6, okay? And this is the article here, close up if you want to see that a little bit. All right, quite a prominent article. And we're going to go over this a little bit and see if it matches Jose's. Because if it does, if it's a similar kind of message, that means more than one journalist, has been briefed. So we talk about the Liverpool clique of journalists, all right, where they'll tell, 4 or 5 journals all at the same time for maybe low-key stuff, whereas they keep the best stuff for Joyce and Ornstein, right? Now, this article was actually penned by 2 journalists, which is interesting. One's in London and one's in Madrid. And it basically says that the headline here behind is Konaté, Liverpool already lining up replacements. The English club will sign Marc Guéhi and Giovanni Leone, preparing for a possible exit of the Frenchman. And it goes on to say, I won't read the entire article out to you, because it might bore you to death. But it basically says Konaté faces new competition. Liverpool preparing a big move in the market with the likely arrivals of 2 centre-backs. Double signing fuels speculation as the French defender's contract ends next season and his destination could be Real Madrid. Although Liverpool are willing to renew his deal, Los Blancos, the Whites, have stepped in. Both Real Madrid and PSG have the 26-year-old centre-back on their list of targets for next summer when they could land him on a free. So the Madrid-based media, Real Madrid, internally, I think, believe that PSG is a possible destination for him, or that they have interest in him. It's one thing, that some Liverpool fans, throw around, oh, he could go to PSG. It's very easy to mention PSG with him. And I'm not sure if there is genuine interest from PSG. I suspect there would be, but it could also be the agent just letting, Real Madrid think there's interest from PSG. But I've just seen it mentioned more in the Madrid media than I have the Liverpool media. And basically, it says here that the clubs involved, well, especially PSG, the plan for them is to wait. So that sounds like they're not willing to step up with any cash this summer. At Real Madrid, the levels of Militao and Alaba remain to be seen after so many serious injuries. The futures of Huijsen, Asensio, and Rudiger at the Bernabeu appear secure for now, although Asensio has been getting absolutely slaughtered by the press recently because of his performances at the Club World Cup. But Real Madrid want more. They want Konaté, and for free, next summer. While a last-minute move in this window can't be ruled out, it's understood that any offer from Madrid would never exceed 20 million euros, which is a figure consistent with what I've been telling you, right? So Liverpool said, if he's going to be sold this summer, 50 million euros offer, get it. Perez saying 20 million euros, tops 25 million euros, will do business. Liverpool didn't move, wouldn't be bullied, fuck you. And that's why we saw continuous reporting of Konaté to Real Madrid on a free every other day for weeks and weeks and weeks. And a Real Madrid journalist came out in these publications and admitted that and said Perez, he wants to amplify the message. He's playing a game. That was the exact words. He's playing a game. He wants Konaté to Real Madrid in the press every day to put pressure on Liverpool to lower the fee and sell this summer. But then it went quiet. It went quiet for 15 days. And during those 15 days, I was updating to you that saying, something's not right, guys. Something's changed somewhere. It says here, Konaté has already said yes to Real Madrid, whether that's for this summer or next. The Frenchman wants to wear white. Big claims. For the first time, I think I've seen those claims, to be honest. It's always been about Real Madrid wanting him. Now, this suggests that he wants them. I don't think I've seen that claim before. You guys correct me if I have mentioned that before, but I don't think I have. But Liverpool will try to block it. The current Premier League Champions Board want to extend his deal, and they will keep trying to do that. They have to. They have no intentions of selling him cheaply this summer and certainly not giving him away next year. Even so, Slot will have two new centre-backs, Gay and Leone. And it talks about, the attack with Alexander Isak still the top priority. It's not the only area Liverpool are looking to strengthen. It talks about all the other signings that Liverpool have made. And then it ends by saying in this paragraph, the heart of the defence had yet to be reinforced until now. With the need for another centre-back to increase competition and give Van Dijk and Konaté a rest, Anfield could welcome two reinforcements in the coming days. Obviously, the two defenders that we know about. Liverpool have already found replacements for Ibrahima Konaté, is how that article concludes. Now, I wanted to analyse this article more so than the other one, I think, with Jose Felix Diaz. I think I worked all that out myself, to be honest with you, and the feelings I had, they didn't match up with Dave's. But this one, I wanted to see about this one. This is the article that interests me. The reason that this interests me is because I knew that the Diaz one was going to come today, but I didn't know if the other newspaper would say anything about Konaté. So because they did, I'm like, interesting. I want to see what the friends of ours have got to say. Dave, yeah, Dunk, this one has Madrid fingerprints all over it, even if it's not from Jose Felix Diaz. Here's why I think it's leaning into Real Madrid friendly propaganda and not just harmless speculation. Number one, timing smells coordinated. This dropped on the same day as Jose Felix Diaz's marker piece, and it's about the same play with the same underlying message. Liverpool are panicking, Madrid are calm. Konaté wants Madrid, Liverpool will try, but probably fail. That's classic Madrid comms playbook. Get Marca and AS to hit the market on the same day so the story dominates both the Madrid-leaning newspapers. 2. Language and framing. Phrases like, Konaté has already said yes to Los Blancos are very Madrid-centric. You don't see that claim unless a Madrid-friendly source has whispered it. That's a key point here, guys, in the analysis. The Frenchman wants to wear white is another emotive Madrid narrative hook. Portrays Madrid's waiting strategy as wise and patient, while Liverpool come across as reactionary and in damage control mode. We're going for the other centre-backs. 3. Subtle undermining of Liverpool. The Gay and Leone lines make it sound like Liverpool are already preparing for life without Konaté, which feeds Madrid's he's ours story. Mentions the exact same transfer targets as the Marca article, which suggests they were part of the same briefing pack. The piece links Konaté's potential exit to Liverpool's broader transfer activity, implying Madrid's pull is shaping Liverpool's market moves. 4. Madrid contract tactics normalised. Madrid will wait for him to run down his contract is presented as a smart move. No criticism of tapping up or unsettling players. Even the €20 million offer cap is framed like Madrid's firm negotiating line, not a lowball. Reads like a club mouthpiece justifying Madrid's behaviour. The journalistic angle, number 5. Pablo Montano is a regular in AS with Spanish football coverage, but not as front and centre Madrid as Jose Felix Diaz. That said, AS is generally Madrid-leaning, and Montano, writing from London, Madrid, suggests a piece constructed with info from both ends. Marco Aguilar, also AS, the article was wrote by 2 journalists, remember. Again, not necessarily a top-level Madrid insider, but this looks more like they were fed the same briefing from someone in the Madrid hierarchy or close to the club's transfer team. And I think that gives it strength. For it's certainly... These articles are not coming across as idle speculation to me or just a bit of, mischievousness. It's coming across as that to me. It's a bit a Madrid, hierarchy or someone briefing them. The verdict from Dave on this is as follows. This is absolutely part of a coordinated Madrid PR push, Marca and AS both publishing on the same day with overlapping detail, narrative and player positioning is too neat to be coincidence. This is Madrid laying the groundwork publicly so that fans think Konaté is already mentally theirs. Liverpool's resistance looks like desperation. If Liverpool do sell or lose him for free, Madrid's version of events has already been seeded. And that, my friends, concludes the analysis and look at the two articles from Madrid today, two different publications concerning Konaté, Real Madrid, and the journalists behind the articles. If you didn't see the video last night about Jose Felix Diaz, if you've got time and you can stomach it, maybe you'd want to watch that. So there's clearly been, I think the last 2 weeks, there's clearly been something going on there behind the scenes. For Madrid to stop typing, about it, talking. We know that this is the second meeting was supposed to take, well, not the second meeting, it makes it sound like there's only been two meetings. The second meeting in 2 weeks was supposed to be today, but if you saw the mail stand last night, the last video I did before I turned in for the evening, I believe the author said, don't be surprised if today's meeting was cancelled. Now, at the present time, I don't know about that, but we'll find out. All right? So, what do you think? What do you think's happening with Konaté now? Do you think that Liverpool will sell him? Do you think Liverpool are getting ready to sell him this summer and that's why they're stepping up on these two centre-backs? Did they really go for two centre-backs this summer with Konaté and keep Konaté? Or are they looking at it as, well, you're going to leave on a free, so it makes no odds to us now, you can sit on bench? I don't know, guys. My personal opinion is that if they signed the two centre-backs and Real Madrid offered a suitable fee, then I think Liverpool would still accept it, even this late in the window. But are Real Madrid going to do that, offer that money? I'm not so sure they are. Now, one thing I will say about money is I mentioned last night in one of the videos that one thing I've noticed about, following the Madrid, publications, which I've done probably for about a year now, can't remember. I read them every day for you guys. And one thing I've noticed or learned is that the amount of, the money that Liverpool, our journalists, non-Madrid journalists outside Spain, Joyce, when he's wrote articles about Trent Alexander-Arnold, we got that money for Trent, up to 10 million euros or something like that. I said in a video, I heard it. Did you hear?
Someone is at the front gate.
Someone's at the front gate. Oh, I can't answer that.
There's someone at the front gate.
Alexa, stop. Someone at the front door. I'm not answering it. It's not going to be anybody bringing anything of interest to me. Will it be somebody that wants something? Do you answer your door? I never answer my door or my phone. Anyway, what I said last night in my video is what I've learned is that the amounts that Liverpool, for example, or our press say we received are always different to what's in the Madrid press, all right? So I saw a reference to that today in one of these articles where they're talking about Trent and they went, apparently the 10 million that Liverpool reckon they received or something, it was that kind of thing. In other words, in Madrid, they always downplay the amount they've paid, all right? So if they've really given a club 50 million, over here, it will say, yeah, they paid 25. So when you see them claims of Perez saying 20 million euros tops, I always think you're shitting lies. Do you know what I mean? So it makes me wonder if they offered 30 million, if Liverpool would take it. I don't know. Just a little bit of insight there that I've noticed with the things, like often we see undisclosed and all that, but every time I've seen a figure mentioned to do with Liverpool and Real Madrid, our version is significantly higher than theirs all the time. So anyway, that's it. That's your breakdown of everything. I was looking forward to seeing what came out today. I wasn't sure if there'd be one in here, but the fact that it is a briefing, that it's published in those two publications, suggests to me that there is more going on behind the scenes than we know, or that we can try and piece together. You know what I mean? Because the vibe recently is a lot of people thinking that he's going to extend with us, and there's nothing to say he won't. But in there, you've got to remember, they're saying he has stated that he wants to play for Real Madrid. Yet Jose Felix Diaz, the one that's closest to Real Madrid, didn't say that, but kind of alluded more in his articles. It's interesting stuff. Maybe it's not interesting to you. It is to me. I love trying to piece it all together, guys. I do. I fucking love it, man. All right, that's it. And then I'll get some wanker on here saying, can't you do a shorter video? How the fuck do you get all that into 3 minutes? I mean, I can do a lot in 3 minutes, to be honest, girls. Fuck me. But not when it comes to serious stuff I give a fuck about, you know. Right, guys, I've got loads coming up for you. Loads more. Oh, and I'm live on here tonight at 6 UK time, all right? If you found this video informative, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, there's a love art under the video. It's called a super thanks. I always give a shout out to people that do that the following day on my morning briefing. I haven't done today's morning briefing yet, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But they go on the other channel, Duncan Oldham channel. The link to that channel is in the video description. Please come across and subscribe. If you like my content, you'll like it over there, I think. More Liverpool, more Cop Talk, more me, more you, community. And it will also pop up on the screen as well. All right? If you don't see a love art, there's other ways to support me and my efforts with this YouTube channel and the Cop Talk website, which has been on the go for nearly 3 decades now. It's a long time. All right, guys? I will speak to you later. All right? Okay. Take care.